Hello, everyone, and welcome to Community Connections. I'm Marnie Uhl, your host. Glad you're joining us on this beautiful but very, very hot day here in June 14th. You'll remember that day because it is just crazy hot out there, but that's typical for June. You know, we get these hot weather and then the monsoons come in. So, you know, we're praying for those monsoons that'll come in this year because last year we were sorely lacking. So anyway, just stay cool out there for you. We've got a lot of great guests for you today. And actually, two of my guests, we're going to be talking a little bit about water. So maybe that'll cool us off during discussion. I have Will Willaims. He's the secretary of the Northern Arizona chapter for Heroes on the Water, along with Dan McGowan, who is the director, is also of the chapter of Heroes on the Water. Good afternoon, gentlemen, and welcome.
Good afternoon, Marnie.
Good to have you.
Good to be here.
It's good to talk about water.
Oh, good topic for today.
I was looking at your flyer here, and it's kayaks on the water, and it just looked like someplace very nice to be right now. But let's tell us a little bit about this organization, Heroes on the Water. I think a lot of people out there may have not heard about it. New to the community or new to the area?
Yeah, we just opened it up. This is going to be our second event coming up.
Oh, okay.
And what it is we kind of aim for PTSD, but it's all veterans, first responders of, police, fire, sheriffs, all that, and any work-related body incidents they might have had.
Right.
We get them out there, and it's very therapeutic. We put them in a kayak. We hand them a paddle for the kayak and a fishing pole. So the object is to go out fishing in a paddled kayak, and all their troubles kind of go to the back of their mind. It's not it doesn't cure them, but it gets their mind off of what they might be thinking about all the time negatively. And I've had some wonderful experiences with guys that have just told me how fantastic they felt. They haven't felt this good in years and stuff like that. After an hour or two, it's an amazing. Just an amazing thing to do, and because of the VA here and everything, and I'm a vet, Will's a vet,
Thank you for your service.
we just wanted to help our fellow veterans out, and it's been very rewarding so far. And Will's a fantastic communicator and been a great secretary. I'm really glad I met him and we work together like this.
So has this organization been in existence for a while? And then you just have opened up the Northern Arizona chapter
Yeah, the
recently?
national organization started, I think, in 2007.
Yes.
Okay.
And there are some 60 chapters around this country and 2 internationally. So we've just opened the Northern Arizona chapter, as you say, and we've gotten some pretty good results so far. As Dan said, this is only going to be our second event, and we're planning our third one for next month now.
So it's actually a series of events that you would go out on the water in a kayak. So you plan
Exactly.
these several times during the year. Well, obviously during the months we can go out.
Yeah, exactly. That's why
Right.
there's only going to be like 5 or 6, and we're shooting for the middle of the month generally. But because we talked before, this is about Father's Day, and it kind of throws a wrench and that kind of thing. So
Right.
we backed it up a week. So this particular one's going to be a little late, but
So it's coming up on June 26th,
That's
Yes.
right.
and you'll be out on Willow Lake.
right.
Now, how are our veterans and our law enforcement first responders finding out about the program? Besides, obviously the outreach through
This guy
radio
right
and
here.
television. So that's your job, Will?
Yeah, I put some
Okay.
databases together to email notices out. We have flyers. The flyer in front of you is being spread around businesses in Chino Valley as we
Okay.
speak. And word of mouth. Folks who have been with us before are invited to come back and rejoin us, and they can tell other folks about what we're doing.
Right, to experience it.
That's
Once
right.
you've experienced it, you would like to share or pay it forward, as we say. Are these kayak trips counselor-led, or is there any type of therapies attached to it, or is it just go out and just experience the outdoors?
This
on
is
the
an
water?
individual program where they have an
Okay.
opportunity to take the kayak out on their own. And as Dan says, they have a fishing pole in their hand. And when they're trying to deal with a kayak and fishing, there's not much room else to think about anything else.
Right. Yeah.
So it's amazing that when you think what their pressures are that they're facing with PTSD and related concerns, just an hour away from that is so therapeutic.
Right.
And so restful to them. And as Dan says, we've gotten some remarkable comments from vets who have participated with us. And I think we're going to have maybe about a dozen vets this time.
Wow.
Right, yeah.
How many can you accommodate at any one?
Well, right
given-
now, we only have 8 kayaks of our own.
Okay.
And we're trying to expand. We're always looking for sponsorship and things like that.
Sure.
But there's a lady here, what's her name?
Gina.
Gina. She's helps us out and has a good friend who owns a bunch of kayaks. And she has a rental business, and she may be able to lend us some for this coming event because it exploded so big.
Wow, it sounds, yes, you'd want to be able to offer it to more
Right.
as it becomes popular
Right.
and more people find out about it.
Exactly.
So obviously, military veterans tend to be ones that have served. Local law enforcement and first responders can, if they're currently in law enforcement or a first responder, are they eligible to participate this?
Current or former.
Okay,
yeah,
so
yeah.
either way.
Anyone
Right,
who's suffering
right.
the effects can
Right,
join
right.
us.
And we talk about PTSD, but other related mental health issues that might become of the experiences
Right.
and the traumas you might have dealt with, because everybody kind of filters it in different ways. So,
Yeah.
again, an opportunity that this reach would go out even further.
Well, I'm pretty excited about this coming event. I met a lady over the phone. I haven't met her personally. She called, her name's Michelle, and she works for U.S. Vets.
U.S. vets, yes.
And, they supply homeless vets with a place to live and all that. And we've got about half a dozen of them coming
Wow.
because of her.
Yes.
But she can't be there this time. So,
So how
that's why it balloons so much, this particular one.
Are you out there every time?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
gosh. I'm a my water soul, I know it's
Right.
there. I find my therapies and also with water and
same.
being close by. So I love our lakes. Do they need to register? Does somebody need to register to attend?
Just so we know they're coming.
And
Because
be able
we're-
to supply
Because we're
kayaks,
going to
too.
serve lunch
Okay.
and have refreshments, so we have to know how many
We have
folks
to
to
know
plan
nobody's
for.
there so
Sure.
we don't overbuy or
Yeah,
underbuy,
yeah.
so.
Is there an admission or a
No.
charge to participate? No.
The only thing that they must have, if they want to fish, is their own fishing license.
Oh, okay.
That's
Yeah,
the
we
only thing we do
tried,
not
but-
provide.
And that's just required by Fish and Game?
Yeah, and they won't
Yep.
budge on that. We
Yep.
tried.
Right, yes,
And-
okay. But so, your own fishing license if you want to fish, but otherwise you can get out there and kayak, and that's no charge to
That's it, just
participate.
show up and relax. Yeah.
Oh, great. Website, do you have something where people can follow a little bit and get more information? You have a wonderful flyer here that we have at the chamber, and I will leave with Mark, but,
We have a website that we're in the process of setting up. It's
Okay.
northernaz@heroesonthewater.org.
and a phone number if somebody wants to call and register or find out more information. Do you have a number or
Yeah,
Yeah.
you give them
or
928.
an email?
Yeah, 928, 963, 0878.
And that would be directly to Dan.
That's mine. And I also have an email which works.
Okay,
With
real
the other
quick,
one
we're
isn't
gonna run out of
good yet.
time.
Oh, I'm sorry, okay. It's sailfish, like the fish, .01@hotmail.com.
Heroes on the Water supporting veterans and first responders. Thank you both for joining us.
Thank you
Thank
for
you,
having
Marnie, we
us.
appreciate it.
We'll be right back.
The story usually starts in April 13th of 2007. I was a passenger in a vehicle and hit 2 roadside bombs simultaneously. There's a year of my life that I couldn't tell you what happened to me. I remember being transported here and there. According to my medical records, I went into respiratory arrest 8 times on the flight to Germany, and they brought me back. You wake up one day and you're broken. Your body's broken, your mind's broken, your emotions are broken, and you're alone. So I bought a shotgun, and I sat there, and pretty much had made up my mind that today was the day. I wasn't going to be in pain anymore. I wasn't going to be alone anymore. And the phone rings. He said, "Hey, I got your name from somebody, and said you might need a little help. So why don't you meet me at this boat ramp, and we're going to go kayak fishing tomorrow." So I went, and we spent about 4 hours on the water that day. Never caught a single fish. And it didn't matter. I'm only here today because of that phone call. I'm only here today because somebody had a vision of stuffing veterans in little plastic boats and shoving them out in the water.
Hello and welcome back to Community Connections. My next guest is Jodi Mullins. She is with our very own Prescott Valley Police Department. She's a crime prevention officer. Welcome, Jodi.
Welcome. Thanks for having me.
I say she's a Jill of all trades because you do a lot of things over there at the police department.
I do.
And
I stay pretty busy.
you're on the civilian side of things, which
Yep.
is pretty cool because
I am.
the things that you do, and she is actually retired from Los Angeles County Sheriff
Yeah.
also, so she's a homie sister with me. But that lets the officers to be on the streets. So you do all this other organization and background stuff, and right now you're working on putting together the Youth Police Academy, the
Yes.
Police Department Youth Academy. And not last year, COVID, right? So we kind of took a quiet year.
We actually had 2 successful programs, and they were both wonderful. And
Yes.
every year it's different. Resources are different. And this year, our focus is more on homegrown leaders becoming hometown heroes.
Wonderful.
And that's kind of our goal this year. COVID was incredibly brutal on our teen community, and our department has really, really stepped up their game as far as reaching out to our local kids.
That's wonderful.
So this year's Youth Academy is going to be limited again to 15 kids, and they have to either go to school or live in Prescott Valley. And we've got state certification in first aid plan, teen leadership. They'll be allowed to go through the same firearm simulation that our officers go through. And we have a whole bunch of other just fun events planned for them. It should be a great week.
So they get exposed to all facets of the police department.
They do. Well,
Will they meet the officers and learn what they do?
They do.
Through the process?
They will
Meet the canines,
meet
which
the
is always the fun
canines.
part.
They will actually have a chance to be impaired.
Oh, okay.
We have a set of impairment goggles of various strengths that they'll get to try to ride a bicycle.
Oh, my
And
goodness.
while they're impaired,
Wow.
and try to get to learn, that's why you don't drink and drive or,
Mm-hmm.
use marijuana and drive. So it should be
Wow.
awesome. So it'll
I'll
be
have to
awesome.
shout out, because our own Gloria Grose, who will be joining us in just a little while, her granddaughter went through it twice.
She did?
2 times.
She
There
did.
there was opportunity with a vacancy in the second class that she got to do it twice, but I just heard great things about it. And from what you say, what an excellent opportunity for a young person to experience that.
Well, we're recognizing that our teens really don't have that many opportunities to interact with our police in a positive way. And as an agency, we are really trying to bridge that gap. We've gone out to Mountain Valley Park and had what we call our pop-up barbecue, where we don't announce it, we just show up when we cook for kids. And we interact with them and find out what they want, and how they see themselves. And through the last part of the school year, we went to the library and had a teen outreach event every Wednesday. Got to know some of the kids and have dialogue with them on what they want, what is important to them, what they would like to see.
Kind of interesting, isn't it?
It's very awesome. It's awesome.
I can only imagine so many of the interactions are usually less than positive, and it's, they're usually gathered or somebody complained, and,
Right.
somebody's got to show up and say, and ruin their fun.
Right.
And so now you are making their fun by showing up and saying, hey, let's cook, let's talk.
Yeah, and that's pretty much all it is that, we get hot dogs, chips, and soda, and you'd be amazed what you can accomplish over a hot dog.
Right.
You talk to them, find out where they're at mental health-wise, just what resources they would like to see. Kids have a voice.
And they would want to be heard.
They
want
do.
somebody to listen.
They do.
And how many times do we brush them off because we don't have time to listen?
Well, one of the unique aspects of this year's Police Academy is going to be a police and use of force aspect of it. Over the last year with COVID.
In the Youth Academy, you'll have a session on that?
Yes.
Uh-huh. And it was hard to hear you, so let's say.
The Citizens Police, the Youth Citizens Academy.
Uh-huh.
There's a component this year on police and use of force.
And use of force, okay.
A lot of the kids, most of what they know is what they've seen on the news. And there is an actual need for use of force in police work. And this will help explain that to kids, our local kids.
Right.
That kind of maybe give them a better perspective on law enforcement.
Sure, absolutely. I've seen those situations where there's simulations of somebody that has maybe, been doing a story or researching on police use of force and say, okay, we're going to put you in the position of the officer, and what would you do? And they come out with a whole different perspective on those, quick decisions that
Right.
have to be made at the time when you could be threatened, So it's very interesting that, I like that part of it because it's so important for that understanding.
Oh,
Start at the
absolutely.
kids, start at the young people who, talk about it.
Well, we have been going 90 miles an hour. As soon as we got the green light to
Yes.
start hitting the community again, we do cops and kids. We've done coffee with a cop,
Community outreach at its
community
best.
outreach
Yes.
at its best.
So it's limited to 15. Do they have to apply?
Yes, the applications are online or
Mm-hmm.
at the station. There is an application process,
Is there an age requirement?
14 to 18,
Okay.
and they have to either go to school or live within Prescott Valley town.
Mm-hmm. And then requires parent approval.
It does. It does. At the end of every day, because some of the things that they may see could be pretty gritty, and we don't know where these kids come from. We do have like a 15-minute debrief at the end of every day, just to do a kind of a mental health check with our kids and make sure that we're sending them home in a good place.
Well, I think you've really got it well covered, and putting this program together. It sounds like such a
think so.
quality program. Again, bringing it back, this is the third time.
It is.
And there's
It
no
is.
charge for the teen to participate.
Nope, and not at all. Not
So
at
how
all.
do they register, Jodi?
At www.pvaz.net, there's a community outreach, and it will lead them to the link. It's going to be July 12th through the 16th from 8:30 to 3. And then at the very end of the program, we have a graduation ceremony,
Wonderful.
and they get a cake and a certificate.
So if you do it 8:33, that means you provide lunch,
We do.
lunch, snacks,
Lunch,
Beverages.
snacks. Can't have teens without food.
exactly.
You have to feed them.
So is there any opportunity for businesses in the community or our citizens or somebody that wants to help support this program?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, our programs are all pretty much community funded. And what we're asking for is $50 sponsorships. And we get put, our donors go on all of our printed material. The big difference between having one donation for $500 and 10 for 50 is that we get to tell kids, hey, these 10 businesses or people believe so much in you that they've given, their money, their time
Yes.
to your success.
Wonderful. Well, that's a great opportunity to support our police department and support our kids. It's
Absolutely.
It's all about the quality of the community we believe Prescott
Right,
Valley
right.
has. So one more time, where to go for more information or to register?
www.pvaz.net under Community Outreach.
And this is Jodi Mullins. She's the crime prevention officer, and
Crime
like I said
prevention
earlier,
officer.
Jill of All Trades putting this program together. Congratulations,
Thank
and let us
you.
know how
Thank
we
you.
can help at the Prescott Valley Chamber, because we support you. All right, short break. We'll be right back.
The following is a public service announcement test to determine if you need a fishing license and boat registration before you head out on the water. Let us begin. Are you a pelican? Does this look like your house? Is this your idea of fishing with friends? Do you use your feet as fishing hooks? Are you your own boat? Do you have webbed feet? No, I mean like a... That's the one. Do you want this in your favorite lake? Yuck, yike. No thanks, mister. Regardless how you answered, you need to be licensed and registered because it helps local conservation efforts protect the very natural resources you enjoy boating and fishing in for generations to come. Do your part at takemefishing.org.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
1 in 3 adults has pre-diabetes. That means it could be you, your favorite brother, your other brother, you, your football buddy, your football buddy, you, your plumber,
Breathe right into your foot.
your plumber's masseuse,
Yes.
you, your dog walker, your cat jogger. With early diagnosis, prediabetes can be reversed. Take the risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
And welcome back to Community Connections. I'm Marnie, your host, and my next guest is a very extra special person. And you might know her as an occasional host of the show of Community Connections when I'm not available. She has been my right arm. She's been the heartbeat of the chamber. And I'm talking about Gloria Grose, our operations and events manager, but truly the heart of the chamber. We've been together for 15 years, and she has announced her retirement actually last month, and it's been just coming along every day. And Gloria, we're going to be missing you.
No, 15 years is a long time because we're not just employer, we are friends.
We're friends.
And that's really meant a lot to me.
And which is it's bittersweet because I
Yes.
totally understand. You come to a point in your life when it's time to retire. It's time to say, I'm done. Now I want to enjoy these years, whatever they look like,
Yes.
and you prepare. You obviously work for so many years of your life, and now it's time. But it's time for you, and I understand that. I love you for that, and it's time for change for me, because now that synchronicity, that's what we have together after 15 years, is almost we can finish each other's sentences. I know the first name, she knows the last name.
Well.
I know the date, she knows the time. I mean, it's crazy that
Yes.
I start over. But that being said, it's about Gloria. I invited her to be on the show today to kind of talk to you about who she is. And you know her as the chamber, and you've probably called and talked to her and seen her on the show. But she's been there 15 years, so who is Gloria Grose, and how did she start her career in the Prescott Valley Chamber of Commerce?
Actually, I started my career back in 1992 when I first moved here. I had a styling salon next door to the chamber for 9 years, and I got really well acquainted to the staff over there, especially Bev Olson. She was such an amazing lady. And I became an ambassador and started volunteering for the chamber and doing all kinds of things. Anything they needed, I was there to help them out. So when I decided to sell my salon, I thought, okay, well, maybe I can stay home. That didn't work. So I started volunteering at the chamber in the visitor center, even before you were hired. I was looking back, and it was back in November of 2005
Wow.
that I started volunteering because I was bored and needed something to do. So I just go in and do relocation packets and do whatever they need me to do, mailings or whatever, news magazines. And I just enjoyed it. It was so much fun because I'm from this area. It's my Prescott, my hometown. So I know all about the area. So it was easy to talk to visitors when they came in and said, "Oh, what's good around here?" "Oh, well, let me tell you." It was a blast. I had so much fun being in the visitor center. And then things changed in the chamber, and the membership person left. So you asked me if I would like to step up, and I did, and I love that. I was a membership person for, 8 years? 8 years. So, and I love getting out with the people and meeting all the businesses, and the majority of them I knew anyway because of being in the area for so long. So that was great. I love that job. And then Bev Olson decided to retire. 8 years ago?
I think
it's been seven or 8 years
Time
ago.
flies.
I know, we can't remember. And you approached me about stepping up and taking her position. In fact, she's the one that said, "Oh, just let Gloria take over." Because when she was on vacation, I filled in for her anyway.
did.
So I did all of her job anyway. So not all of it, but most of it. And it's worked out. We have had a great 8 years together, being this close and working together, and I've loved being your right-hand man and filling in on this filling in on this show and talk to the town and
The radio shows.
I've just really enjoyed filling in and doing all that, and it's been great. I've loved it. I've loved going. I went to Institute of Organizational Management, and I got my degree from there, and I loved every minute of it. It was amazing 4 years that I went through that, but I learned so much about the chamber and how the chamber works and all the inward workings of it, which I didn't really understand before. So that was amazing. That was one of my highlights, is to be able to do that, and you gave me the opportunity. I'm going to make myself cry. You gave me the opportunity to do. We should have tissue. You gave me the opportunity to do that, and I so appreciate that, and everything that you have inspired me to do. inspired me to be a better chamber person.
Well, you know, Gloria, sometimes people have hidden gifts and talents. She's also my spiritual advisor that always keeps me prayed for and cared for through, you know, God and everything. I mean, she's just been there we've been through a lot. We both have been through breast cancer. We have been through vacations. We were sharing stories about back in the day when we used to mail 650 newsletters and the mail and the sorting we did. We've come a long way.
ways.
But there was always something in Gloria that somebody just needed to give her that push, that help to say, you know, you can do this. And you went through Prescott area leadership, you went through both Citizens Academies, and you came to me and you said you wanted to go to Institute for Organization Management, which is a premier chamber executive education professional development program, probably one of the top in the United States, the top in the United States. And so I said, absolutely, because you have shown that you wanted that desire, but I've watched you blossom. To do radio and TV shows, to stand at a podium and command an audience and speak to at any chamber event, to present. You have just been, you know, you can only want, as a person like myself in leadership, to have somebody rise to the exceptional level that you have. And yet we have so many goofy memories of all the events and things we did back then that we don't longer do now. But, you know, we've evolved. It's been 15 years. The Prescott Valley Chamber 15 years ago is not the Prescott Valley Chamber we have now, nor is it the community of Prescott Valley.
That's right.
Holy smokes, you've been here
Changed.
longer than you've watched the whole thing grow up.
I have.
Yeah. So what is I mean, you did mention that graduating the Institute, but when you look back and you think, okay, bam, that is my memory, or that it was very important to me, I'll always carry that with me. Do you have something like that from your years with the chamber?
Oh, you put me on the spot, Marnie. I should have been thinking about this sooner.
I told her I was going to ask her.
I know, but you just told me that a few minutes
Yeah,
ago.
because it was good. But, I mean, so many good things.
There are so many good things. A lot of the events that we've done have just been amazing, and I've loved doing all of them. I think me being in charge of Valley of Lights has been the best, and I love that dearly. So
What am I going to do? She was always my Thursday night volunteers for Valley of Lights when we opened.
Yes.
Holy smokes. A lot of good memories.
Lot
We're
of good
having
memories.
a celebration for her on June 23rd if you want to come by and wish her well. It's at Gabby's Grill starting at 4 o'clock to 7. So, again, a retirement celebration. But the most wonderful lady that has ever graced my life, and I will treasure her friendship forever because she's not going anywhere.
No.
And she still dog sit for me. 'cause
Yes, I will.
that we'll be together, but we wish her well and thank her for all of her years giving back to the community through the chamber. Thank you, Gloria.
thank you.
Thank you all for joining us. We'll see you next 2 weeks.